one of the magic things about team learning is that you really end up with teams. They don't start out that way. And what we want to do with the segment you'll see next, is to show you the evolution of how the groups look as groups in the first class period or two, and how they look later on as they really have formed into teams. And you'll also notice some differences in the interaction. There'd be a lot less hesitancy about challenging each other, and that's absolutely critical from a learning standpoint. Probably the best single way to get an idea of how well the team development process is going is to physically look at the groups as they're working together. And early on, what you see is that they do a very, very poor job of managing their space in several different ways. In this group, what's happening is that in spite of the fact that they have the ability to move their seats anywhere they want to, they're sitting in a long, strung out oval. And even more importantly, what tends to happen when they're doing it is that the minority students who have difficulties getting into the conversation anyway tend to sit on the end, and that's taking place here. You see the same thing happening here in this group, and in fact it's even more pronounced because the people who are most engaged in the discussion are sitting almost in front of an Asian woman, or the Asian woman who you see sitting out of the group and with her arms folded, obviously not feeling part of the group. In this group, you see two things happening that again are characteristics of the newly formed groups. One is that they are making decisions by voting, and that happens because of the fact that they have difficulties openly disagreeing with each other. The other thing is that again they're managing their physical space poorly. You've got a situation where you've got a chair that could be moved out that's sitting in the middle of the group, which means that they have to sit further apart. And the other one is that there's an extra chair even in the circle. Another concern about the team development process is, can it even happen if you've got a large fixed seating classroom, which is always the case if you've got large classes. And what you see here is a number of instances where the groups, and these are groups that are now teams, are actually working together very effectively, finding a way to be face-to-face and to discuss their differences, even when the physical barriers are clearly there. They found a way to work around them. Another characteristic of the groups that have evolved into teams is that they're really interested in what's going on in the team. You see this team celebrating getting a correct answer, and that's very characteristic of what happens once they begin to feel like a team. The other thing is, that's even more important from a learning standpoint, is that they have no hesitancy to challenge each other if they have a difference of opinion. It's now become, for these kids, more important to be right than to be polite.
Element of diversity, so you can't predict the.
I figured that would be like talking about yeah, you could predict the norm, like predicting norm. Cohesive, and we all pretty much agree on it.
No, but experts like you're in like no, it's like that.
He knows. It works for anyone. He knows. He's inside the.
Right. His position, as far as like where he works, like his position.
It's not legitimate. That's whenever you're becoming a manager, but it's your inherent authority.
I don't think it just has to do with your.
Well, I think it's expert.